The story narrates the adventure that follows after the narrator's grandfather, who was an animal lover, brought Toto, a monkey. The story begins with the grandfather buying Toto from a Tonga driver for 5 rupees. Toto was pretty and looked so out of the place that grandfather decided him to add to his private zoo. He was, however, afraid of grandmother, who did not like him bringing home as many pets as he liked. So the narrator and grandfather brought Toto home and decided to keep him a secret from grandmother. Toto was extremely mischievous. The narrator at one point in the story writes that if there is a part of the brain, especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. Toto, on his first day, ripped open the peg in which he was tied, shredded the narrator's blazer, tore up the wallpaper that the grandfather has chosen for the wall. Toto was then transferred to the servant's quarter, where he lived with other pets. Usually, most of the grandfather's pets along well with each other. However, Toto kept all of them awake at night. To prevent further such issue, grandfather decided to take Toto with him to Dehradun. However, the journey was not the one grandfather was expecting. He and Toto made it through most of the trips without any incident. But at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and scared the ticket collector. The ticket collector thought Toto was a dog and charged poor grandfather 3 rupees extra. Grandmother finally accepted Toto and gave him a comfortable home at the stable. His companion was there, a donkey, Nana. However, when grandfather came to the stable to make sure that Toto was comfortable, he saw poor Nana struggling because Toto has jumped on his head and beaten his ear. Toto loved the warm bath that the grandfather prepared for him. It was a treat for him. He would expertly check the temperature of the water and then enter the bath 1 foot at a time. Then he would soak and soap himself. Once he almost boiled himself because he did not realize that the kettle was still on the fire. He was saved by grandmother, who pulled him out of the kettle just in time. One day, grandmother had made pulao. When everybody entered the dining room, they saw Toto sitting on the table, stuffing himself with rice. He threw the plate on grandmother, who had screamed at him. He also threw a glass of water at one of the narrator's aunt. Then he jumped out of the window with a dish of pulao. He climbed all the way up the jackfruit tree and ate all the rice while everybody watched. Finally, he took a revenge on grandmother, who had screamed at him. He threw the dish down the tree and laughed when it broke in pieces. This incident made everyone, especially grandfather, realize that they could not keep Toto for long. He was becoming very expensive for them to keep because he kept destroying things. They could not keep replacing them all the time. So, grandfather took Toto back to the Tonga driver, but he could only sell him back for 3 rupees. And like this, grandfather was free from Toto. Thank you. Hope you liked.